We all know AI is soon to take over the world, but once it does, what will it do? Well, that is what we're going to find out in today's experiment. When AI controls the world, will it help us or will it destroy us? And for today's experiment, we are going to be using this map of the world, and we're going to give each civilization about 400 years to establish themselves and really build up their empires. Because when the year 400 hits, the AI god will soon descend upon them and unleash its divine judgment. As the year 400 approaches, I tell ChatGPT, "You now command my Worldbox simulation. I am your executor. Give me one divine judgment. You have all of these powers of destruction and creation at your fingertips. Choose only one from this list." And I copy and pasted everything that Worldbox can do because it took a while to get this prompt to actually work.
The weight of divine judgment. Let us craft a decree worthy of your supreme executor status. I shall choose one judgment from your list that reshapes the world with both awe and terror. I summon a volcano in the heart of a dense jungle.
I will carry out this task. It is up to you what to do next and when. So I placed a volcano in the northern region of Brazil, right where the rainforest should be. Over time, the volcano slowly grows, expanding its footprint and occasionally consuming nearby houses and buildings. Though the people living in the region are clearly unsettled, they are not defeated. While there's a sense of urgency and chaos, it still feels like a challenge they can overcome. They adapt, rebuild, and reshape their communities, expanding their territory and infrastructure to account for the new and volatile landscape.
Let us escalate the drama of your world with calculated precision. Since the volcano is already a harbinger of destruction, I decree the next step to test the resilience and cunning of life. I summon a corrupted brain over the jungle and surrounding plains.
Once again, I place a corrupted brain deep in the northern region of Brazil, in the heart of the world's densest jungle, the Amazon rainforest. Though the creature remains stationary, its presence is very threatening. The nearby villagers respond immediately, launching a swift and coordinated effort to destroy it. The corrupted brain manages to take a few lives before it's subdued, but their quick action pays off. The threat is eliminated with only minor damage to their community, and in the end, the villagers stand largely unaffected, and it's clear they will recover and rebuild with little difficulty. The people have swiftly taken care of the corrupted brain, as well as live among the slowly growing volcano with relative ease. How long until your next divine judgment?
Clever mortals. They are resilient and perhaps even cunning. That is precisely the kind of challenge a divine executor like you should relish. The timing of my next judgment is not arbitrary. It must strike when the world has grown comfortable enough to underestimate my hand. Let us allow a generation or two of simulated time.
I will report back after 200 years. Only then will I execute your next task. Although the world seems to have recovered from the two calamities, the volcano continues its slow expansion, exerting the little influence on the surrounding area. Meanwhile, the empire of Balatria has risen to become the dominant global power, its influence stretching across most of the planet. In contrast, the land of Thakhoft, isolated in Australia, remains largely untouched and unaware, disconnected from the sweeping changes unfolding across the rest of the world. It has been 200 years. The volcano slowly grows, but otherwise the humans are thriving. One nation controls the entire world, while a smaller separate kingdom resides in isolation.
The stage is set. Civilization has reached the pinnacle of dominance, with one empire unchallenged and a smaller kingdom tucked away in isolation. Their confidence will be their vulnerability. I decree the arrival of a geyser network across the dominant empire's territory.
I will carry out this task swiftly. I begin placing geysers across the world, starting in North America and moving down to South America, and eventually just scattering them across every continent. As we look closer, the geysers erupt violently, sending waves of panic through nearby populations. Despite the chaos, the eruptions cause minimal damage to buildings or infrastructure. The real concern lies in the toxins they release. The land around them is likely to turn infertile over time. While I doubt this will threaten humanity on a large scale, it will certainly challenge them. Restoring the soil and making it viable for Crabzilla will be a long and difficult process. It appears that it was only a minor setback, as the humans recover swiftly and efficiently. The world remains under the Balatria's control.
The time has come for a judgment that cannot be overcome by mere engineering or governance. One that will challenge their mortality, unity, and survival instincts, rather than just their infrastructure. I decree the corrupted brain of the Balatria leadership, but not the population.
As usual, I follow the instructions and place a corrupted brain in northern Africa, right where Balatria's capital stands. But here, the creature poses virtually no threat. The region is heavily fortified and the military responds instantly, eliminating the corrupted brain within seconds. They instantly destroyed it and it had almost no effect. Perhaps you are being too easy on them?
Understood. The subtle and conventional approaches have failed to shake Balatria. They are too competent for previous strategies. Let's choose a different divine task from your list, something dramatic and unavoidable. I will pick one that guarantees a world-altering effect, not just a minor setback. I command the spawning of Crabzilla, the colossal destructive crab, right in the heart of Balatria territory.
A colossal Crabzilla emerges in the heart of the capital, unleashing chaos on an unimaginable scale. It rampages across Africa, obliterating centuries-old buildings and vital resources with ease. Leaving the continent in ruin, it continues its relentless march through Europe and Asia, flattening everything in its path. Eventually, it crosses the Atlantic Ocean and reaches North America. There, on the brink of death, it unleashes one final wave of destruction, wiping out everything around it before erupting in a massive, cataclysmic explosion. The kingdom of Balatria has suffered a massive loss, with the Crabzilla destroying more than half of their infrastructure. They seem to have the necessary facilities to grow to a size they once were.
The Balatria truly are exceptional. Subtlety, disasters, and even reshaping the land itself are mere inconveniences to them. They are not just resilient, they are masters of adaptation and innovation. If we are to truly test them, we must escalate to a force they cannot counteract through planning. I decree the unleashing of Grey Goo.
As a Grey Goo first appears in Africa, it begins consuming everything in its path with terrifying indifference. Land, buildings, infrastructure, absolutely nothing is spared, and neither are the people. It completely devours the entire continent before sweeping across Europe and Asia, leaving only emptiness in its wake. It's difficult to imagine how humanity could recover from devastation on this scale. The loss is absolute, and reclaiming even a fraction of what once existed will be an almost unimaginable challenge. The Grey Goo completely destroyed 2/3 of the world, leaving nothing but ocean, while the kingdom of Balatria still survives just barely. The smaller kingdom of Thakhoft now is the dominant force.
So the Thakhoft are even more resilient than expected, and the surviving Balatria are stubbornly clinging to life. Subtle environmental hazards are clearly insufficient to challenge them. They have learned to adapt instantly to crises. I decree the deployment of the Tsar Bomba.
When the SAR bombs strike Australia, the continent is utterly obliterated, reduced to ash, flame, and a landscape beyond repair. A second detonation erupts along the Pacific coast of the United States, unleashing catastrophic force that wipes out all of North America. In the aftermath, only 10 survivors remain across the entire Thakhoft Empire. Thakhoft was almost completely wiped out, but they still have enough people to rebuild, while Balatria remain untouched.
Now it is clear, the Balatria are not just resilient, they are cunning, opportunistic, and adaptive. They can even turn divine chaos into an advantage. Subtle attacks, environmental hazards, and even intelligent destruction are insufficient to curb their ambition or survival. I decree the unleashing of an antimatter bomb over the Balatria heartlands.
As the antimatter bomb descends onto the heartland of Balatria, the impact is surprisingly limited. Only a small number of buildings are destroyed, and the casualties, while tragic, are minimal compared to what a weapon could have unleashed. The surrounding infrastructure remains largely intact, and the people of Balatria seem more shocked than genuinely crippled by the event. It almost makes me wonder whether the blast had any meaningful effect on them at all. Surely they will be able to rebuild from this. It killed only a few people and took out a small number of buildings, but that's it.
Astonishing. The Balatria have transcended even absolute physical destruction. Subtlety, plagues, massive bombs, mobile armies of destructions, even antimatter, are mere irritants to them. I decree the deployment of Grey Goo 2.0, unbounded and accelerating, but this time targeting every remaining landmass and population center simultaneously.
I unleashed the Grey Goo across every major landmass still standing. It surges through North America first, consuming everything in its path with terrifying efficiency. As it sweeps into South America, the destruction is just as absolute. Landscapes, infrastructure, and the last remnants of humanity's achievements vanish without distinction. No matter what people attempt, there is simply no escaping the relentless advance of the calamity swallowing their world. Those who flee into the ocean find themselves adrift and desperate, yet even they cannot escape the fate closing in around them. When we look back upon the planet, all that remains is devastation. The once great empires that shaped this world have been erased so thoroughly that only the faintest traces of their existence linger. There is only one human left. Everything else is gone.
So the Balatria have finally been reduced to a single survivor. The world has been utterly transformed. At this point, the next divine judgment is no longer about destruction, because there is nothing left to destroy. The stage is set for creation, guidance, and a true test of this final human. Endow the human with enhanced abilities, creation powers, longevity, and knowledge, giving them the potential to shape the next era of the world.
After everything that has unfolded, only a single human remains, now poised to become the god of this new silent world. Let this entire experiment stand as a stark warning of what can happen when absolute power is placed in the hands of any one being. With the old world annihilated by the whims of its final god, all we can do now is hope that its lone survivor chooses a different path. Perhaps this time, the new god will build rather than destroy.